am a graduate student at UW-Madison, and I'm working towards an Environment and Resources Master's degree. And so to finish up my master's degree, I am working on my thesis research right now, which involves looking at how soil carbon changes under different grazing management practices throughout the state of Wisconsin. And so to answer that research question, I'm doing two parts to my research project. The first part, and the part that I'm doing out here today, is collecting soil samples. So I am collecting soil samples from grazed pastures throughout the state of Wisconsin. And at each of the farms I'm visiting, I'm also collecting soil samples from row crop fields to serve as a comparison between the two. And in addition to those soil samples, I'm also interviewing graziers throughout the state about their grazing management decisions and their motivations for those decisions. So some of those questions will focus on the grazing intensity that they're using, the grazing frequency that they're using, different inputs to the system. And all of that information I will compile together and use that to understand the soil carbon changes that I'm observing from my soil samples. And that will hopefully allow me to look at different combinations of grazing frequencies and intensities and see if any of those seem to correlate with higher levels of soil carbon in the soil. So I have an interest in soil carbon and soil organic matter more broadly because I think that there's a role that agricultural practices can play in building soil organic matter. And what's great about building soil organic matter is that the benefits of accumulating it accrue directly to the farmers that are implementing those practices, but they also extend beyond the farmer's field too. So if you think of directly on the farm, if you're increasing soil organic matter, that can have benefits like improving productivity and increasing water retention and infiltration. But beyond that, you can think of benefits to potentially the hypoxic zone in the Gulf of Mexico if we are reducing runoff and erosion through the increased soil organic matter. And even globally, there's implications. If we are accumulating soil organic matter, you can be pulling carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, and so it can be a way to help mitigate global climate change. Grazing can be, when it's done well, can be both an adaptation strategy as well as a mitigation strategy, which I think we need both of.